That's what we get when we respond to his invitation. Without that friendship, though, life isn't worth a candle. Well, that's the first thing we get. We get an opportunity to live our life in close association with the Master. The second thing we get is a mission. Again, the text says, he ordained 12 that they should be with him, that he might send them forth to preach and to have power over diseases and to cast out devils. Some mission, right? The Christian life is not, the Christian is not called to sit idle on some Mount Olympus, sucking his thumbs or twiddling his thumbs. The Christian is called to go forth in the love and power of Jesus Christ to heal the wounded. If we go up the mountain and to be with Jesus and be commissioned by him, it only results in him sending us back down the mountain in the power of his Spirit to heal those who are hurting. We live in such a Christ-like way that one day someone may say to you, for me, it was not the truth you taught, to you so clear, to me so dim. But when you came to me, you brought a sense of him. And from your eyes, he beckons me, and from your heart, his love is shed, till I lose sight of you and see the Christ instead. Oh, men and women, when Christ sends us forth, it is that we may bring a sense of him to everyone we meet, especially to those who are wandering in the wilderness, lost and lonely, broken-hearted, unloved, unwanted, uncared for. Tell me, is there anyone in all the world who is saying to you, when you come to me, you bring a sense of him? From your eyes, he beckons me, and from your heart, his love is shed. What, for example, do you bring to your family members when you meet them in your home? A sense of him? Is that what you bring to your fellow workers in the office or in the plant? A sense of him? Is that what you bring to your friends and neighbors when you meet them at the rink or at a concert or even just on the street? A sense of him? Do you bring a sense of him and his love when you come to church and meet other members here? When Jesus sent forth the disciples, it was to heal. And when we bring to those we meet a sense of him, when from our hearts his love is shed, and healing takes place. Let me illustrate that. Rosie Greer was a giant of a man. When I first read this story to my wife Helen, she said, Rosie was a girl. And I said, well, it so happens that this giant of a man was called Rosie. A great football player, likely going to be in the Football Hall of Fame. He had fame as a football player. He had money because they paid him well. And he had powerful friends. He was with Robert Kennedy the night that Robert Kennedy was assassinated in the basement of a hotel in Chicago. That's the kind of people he traveled with. Kennedy. So things were good for him outside the home. But things were sour at home. Divorce followed. Then months of emptiness. Rosie Greer says, the emptiness in me was so big, I couldn't fill it up. Father the next weekend, where kids would like to have both of them together. Well, he had his son with him on this weekend. And the youngster wanted to go to church. And so they went to a little church around the corner. And miraculously, the preacher in that church was preaching in the power of the Holy Ghost that morning. He laid out the invitation to great living. And that day, both Rosie and his son committed themselves to Christ and became Christians. And then the boy suggested that they take the mother to church next week. And they did. And she too heard the call and invitation of Christ to a bigger and better life. And she too committed herself to Christ and began to enjoy the blessings he brings to every soul. And then what happened? Oh, the Greers were healed. Rosie was healed. The little boy was healed. The mother was healed. The whole family was healed. They're all healed by the love of Jesus Christ, by the love shed forth upon them in that little church around the corner by the members life. The love of Christ can heal, but it must be brought to the wounded by the likes of you and me. And that is what God has commissioned us to do. And where do we get this love that heals? Oh, we can get it from Christ and from no one else. Elaine Watson knew that, for she kneels at the feet of Christ and prays, if I could choose but one great gift, dear God, what would it be? I diligently searched my heart and then prayed fervently, God, give me charity, give me love, give me the love of Christ. I'm not sure that a visiting preacher should be challenging a congregation, but I know Mark's father from way back when he was a minister in Waterdown, and I was done that. We got so chummy that when Mark's younger brother was to be baptized, Trevor asked me to come and do it, and I did. So I maybe can get away with issuing you a challenge this morning. The challenge is this. Do you promise and pledge in your heart this morning that you will do your utmost